You ever made a mess of your life? We're actually gonna tackle pretty interesting files that I came across. However, before we get to that, you could just do me a solid. I'm gonna bother you with this every single time until I start seeing a difference, and then I'll still keep bothering. Do me a favor and like, comment, subscribe, share, follow the socials. It's all helping your boy, you know? Right? Yeah, she don't give a shit. So, for today, I came across some pretty interesting documents. Now, let me state this right off the rip. I am, let's say, 85% convinced that this is a LARP. That being said, it's a fun one. It's done pretty well, in my opinion. But it doesn't take a genius to look at this and, kind of figure that one out. That being said, it is a fun read. And for the 15% of me that I guess is split between belief and hope, I think it's worth a read. And that being the case, I'll tackle it as such, as a fun story, as fiction even. But as I stated, I'm pretty sure this is not even a psy-op, just a straight up LARP. In any case, it's interesting. If there's even a sliver of truth behind it, then it's worth the read. For me. And remember, I'm not here to prove anything correct or wrong. I'm just here to experience it along with you. Well, along with me, because I just love this stuff. And along with you, if you join. So, let's begin. Yes. I'll read it from top to bottom. And again, bear with me. I'm getting better at this live reading thing. It takes some time, all right? I can write, I can draw, I can do all that stuff, but you asked me to speak publicly, and it's it's what we've gotten so far. Top secrets / SCI / no form. Area 51 Extraterrestrial Biological Entity Status Report 2023. And if you hear me say redacted, guess why? It's because it's redacted. But I'm just going to read it through, and I'll state where it's redacted and just keep reading through. All right? So, the title being, all aliens previously housed at Area 51 are now deceased. That's a bummer. Accidental exposure to Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 booster vaccine. And again, this also is why I feel that it's part of the recipe that leads me to believe that it is a LARP, if nothing else. Immediately bringing COVID into it, and and the wider conspiracies around that deserve a video in of its own. So I won't tackle that too much here. I'm split on that personally. I do believe that some shiesty shit went down there, but I'm not entirely sure that I'm willing to go as far as to believe some of the crazier allegations that are in there. That being said, we do have the Epstein files now. And what's being proven through there, I'll say this, it's vindicating to my younger conspiracy theorist self, my younger, wilder conspiracy theorist self at that. And it's pretty depressing, not gonna lie. But yeah, let's get back to this alien report. The rest of it is redacted, and we have a signature by Director of National Intelligence. Again, don't know, I haven't seen his signature or her signature, so at the time of this, 2023. So take that for what you will. We have 2 DoD undersecretary signatures as well. But let's go. Page 1. Top secret, SIORCON, ORCON, no foreign. Department of Defense, Groom Lake Test Facility, in parentheses, Area 51. Which, by the way, has anybody else been thinking about the Area 51 game? Not Black Site, but the original Area 51 game for the PS2. I've been hoping to dive back into some gaming stuff, and just with everything that's been going on, and drawing up some of the little boards for this, it's reminded me of how great, or well, how great I remember that game to be. I don't know, I haven't played it in ages, but the lore that was built around that, chef's kiss of beauty. To me, at least. I really enjoyed it. Back to this. Nevada Test and Training Range, United States Air Force Memorandum for the Secretary of Defense. From Director, Extraterrestrial Containment and Research Division, ECRD. Subject, catastrophic loss of extraterrestrial specimens due to unintended pharmaceutical exposure. Date, the 2nd of December, 2022. Classification, top secret, special intelligence, originator controlled, no foreign dissemination. Executive summary. On redacted, December 2022, a containment breach at secure holding facility Delta 7 resulted in the inadvertent exposure of all housed extraterrestrial biological entities, EBEs, to a terrestrial pharmaceutical agent, specifically the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 booster vaccine, lot number redacted. This incident led to the rapid and total demise of over 33 distinct EBE species, representing the entirety of our captive inventory acquired through recovery operations since 1947. Preliminary analysis indicates that the exposure was dermal in nature, occurring during a routine decontamination protocol that was compromised by human error. Ain't that always the way? This is why I do believe that this stuff leaks, and some of the stuff does hold some truth, because no matter what, you can never remove the human factor, the human element from it, and humans make mistakes constantly, big and large. So that in of itself gives me some credence to believe in this. Maybe not this file in particular, but files like this. All affected EBEs expired within a 3 to 6 hour window post-exposure, exhibiting symptoms inconsistent with human physiological responses, but uniformly fatal across species. This event constitutes a complete loss of irreplaceable assets critical to national security and advanced technology reverse engineering programs. Immediate containment measures have been enacted, and the full investigation is underway under Project Redacted. Okay. So again, if this is a LARP, for what I've seen so far, it's done well. And again, I'm going to take it in as fiction until proven otherwise. So page 2, incident background. It's broken down into 3. First, we're going to go with A, facility operations. Secure holding facility Delta 7, located redacted meters below surface level at Groom Lake, maintains cryogenic and biosecure environments for the long-term study and containment of EBEs recovered from crash sites. Interdictions and cooperative exchanges. So we cutting deals? Wouldn't be the first time we hear this. Let's continue. As of the 1st of December 2022, the facility housed 127 individual specimens across 33 species, including but not limited to greys of the Zeta Reticuli origin, reptilians, draconian variants, Nordics, Pleiadian subtypes, and hybrid forms from redacted systems. All specimens were stable under standard protocols, with life support systems calibrated to mimic respective exoplanetary conditions. Okay, so that answers a question that I had immediately right off the top. They said 33 species, but I wasn't sure if they exactly meant like, oh, they have one of each, or if there's a different variance in numbers per species. To say that they housed 127, I mean, they had a little town in there, or micro town, little community, let's say. B, routine decontamination protocol. On the date of the incident, a scheduled facility-wide decontamination cycle was initiated at 0800 hours Zulu to mitigate potential cross-contamination from recent terrestrial pathogen monitoring. This protocol involves the automated deployment of aerosolized disinfectants via the facility's HVAC integration system. Per standard operating procedures, SOP ECRD 47, the cycle includes a multi-phase application of approved agents, including virucides, bactericides, and fungicides. C. Compromising event. At approximately 0815 hours, Zulu, a level 3 technician, redacted, clearance TSSCI, inadvertently substituted a canister of the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 booster vaccine stored in an adjacent medical supply vault for human personal booster administration for the designated virucide agent solution V9. The substitution occurred during a manual override of the automated loading sequence, prompted by a minor system alert flagged as non-critical. The vaccine, formulated for intramuscular injection in humans, was aerosolized and dispersed at a concentration of redacted micrograms per cubic meter throughout the holding chambers. They got the Resident Evil treatment, from the sounds of it. Which, by the way, RE9 dropped, and while I haven't gotten to play it, I have seen quite a bit of it. It is so awesome. Besides the point, let's get back to this. Page 3. Exposure and effects. Again, this is broken down. A. Mechanism of exposure. The aerosolized vaccine particles adhere to the dermal surfaces of the EBEs upon contact. So it just skin. And seeing as, at least for the grays, right? Or certain variants of the grays, they describe them as being porous, and their digestive tract seems to, I guess, end or excrete via skin instead of having an anus like us. Think of it like they sweat, piss, and shit, you know? Unlike human administration, which targets muscle tissue, the dermal application bypassed intended delivery vectors, leading to rapid systemic absorption through porous exoskeletons, mucous membranes, and silicon-based integments, common among the affected species. Forensic analysis confirms that the mRNA component of the vaccine interacted unpredictably with extraterrestrial cellular structures, triggering cascading failures in protein synthesis and among analogs. Don't know what most of that means. To an untrained mind like mine, that makes it sound believable to me. However, if anyone out there knows their shit, especially when it comes to this, and you hear that and it doesn't make sense, then let me know down below, because I'm just a guy reading. B. Timeline of demise. In the first hour, 0 to 1 hour post-exposure. Initial symptoms observed via a remote telemetry included elevated thermal signatures, erratic bioelectric activity, and vocalizations indicative of distress, translated via redacted linguistic algorithms as expressions of confusion and pain. So that's interesting. Not only is the telemetry unit, I mean, that sounds legit. I used to work in a telemetry unit. But what catches my attention more than any of that is the linguistic algorithms, that they might have some sort of AI in place to translate and to have them as expressions, because they might not even have, their form of communication may not even translate into verbal communication the way we know it to be. And even so, they may have words that just don't, or let's say words that just don't exist in any language on this planet. So I'm more interested in figuring out and hearing about that. I might have to dive in some more to see if I can find any info on these sort of machines or AI systems that they may have. 1 to 3 hours. Progressive organ/system failure, including dissolution of neural networks in gray specimens, hemorrhagic breaches in reptilian vascular analogs, and crystalline fracturing in Nordic crystalline matrices. Matrices? I wonder if that makes it more believable or less, that each individual species reacted to it in a notable way, in a different way than the rest. I suppose that would make sense. They're different species. 3 to 6 hours. Complete cessation of vital signs across all specimens. Autopsies reveal widespread cellular apoptosis, analogous to an amplified anaphylaxis response, with no survivors. The uniform lethality across diverse physiologies suggests a novel vulnerability to terrestrial lipid nanoparticle delivery systems. Affected species. All 33 were impacted without exception, including rare acquisitions from operations redacted and redacted. No correlation was found with species origin, size, or metabolic rate. The exposure proved universally fatal. It's just everybody got it. Request authorization for supplemental funding. Parentheses, redacted, million US dollars to expedite recovery efforts. So, that's it for that. Do I believe that this is legit? Probably not. I'd like to believe it is. Like I said before, 85% chance that it's fake, probably higher. It's just my hope and heart that gives it that 15% of truth. Follow the socials. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and thank you.